typical project lifecycle can be a very complex process with a lot of steps and a lot of people involved. One of the most crucial steps is the project execution and control phase. This is where you would capture progress, perform risk analysis on your project, update your schedules, collect costs, and generate forecasts for the future of the project. In order for project managers and controllers to be more successful during this phase, we're pleased to introduce the Endeca for eBusiness Suite Project Management. There's several ways that Endeca for EBS projects will assist project managers and controllers be more successful at managing their projects. One of the first ways is this tool will help focus the PMs and controllers on delivery of their projects. So they'll identify and act on projects where costs are at risk of exceeding planned amounts, and also alert them to project schedules that require some remediation. Also, this is going to help avoid scheduling delays. So PMs are going to be warned of late tasks before they affect deadlines and budgets, and also allows them to act on tasks behind schedule to keep the project on track. And then finally, we also want to help reduce the administrative costs to manage your project. So you can identify tasks impacted by schedule and resource changes, and then very quickly and consistently make the updates on those tasks to get things back on track. Throughout the demo, I'm going to be playing the role of a project manager. And I have a lot of projects under my purview. So I'm going to be looking at some of the tools we deliver in Endeca for Oracle projects to help me stay on top of the projects that need attention, that are possibly going to be falling behind or need some remediation done. And then later I'm going to be looking at a project specifically where I need to make some changes to the schedules and the resources and collect the progress. One of the first tools we're going to look at is the alerts. So we've pre-configured these to alert the project manager when a specific event is triggered. One of those events is late projects. So this is when the scheduled finish date of my project is after the baseline finish date. So it lets me know that right now these projects are not on track to what we had baseline. So I would need to take some steps to change that factor. Another set of tools we deliver are the graphs. So the first graph I have here is the actual versus planned cost. If I just filter this on, say, the bottom ones, I can quickly identify which are my projects where the actual cost is running ahead of the planned cost, and then I can narrow in on those. We also deliver a project delay graph. So this shows me my projects which are delayed and by how many days. And then finally we have a burden variance graph. So if I pick my bottom 5, I can see which of my projects have a burden variance that I need to take some action on. So as I mentioned earlier, I do have a lot of projects I'm responsible for, so the alerts and graphs really help me identify any potential issues. But I do have a specific project I need to work on today. It's the end of the period. I want to capture some progress, and we also have some scheduling changes and staffing changes we need to make on that project. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is search for my project. So I'll put in my project name, which is Imaging HR Implementation. And I'm going to select that, and then you'll see that it filters the full list of projects down to that one specific one. Now I'm going to choose my action drop down, and there's a couple other buttons. There's a project action link, and that takes you to the page where you can link to other EBS pages. There's a project detail action button that will take me to the current project home page, and then the work plan page is the one I want. That's going to take me to my work plan overview and Endeca page. So we're going to click on that. So now we're in the work plan overview page. You can see we have some of the same tools as the other page. The task start delay, these are tasks that have supposed to have started and have not yet, so I'm alerted to those. We also have a task finish delay, so these are tasks that are scheduled to start after the time they are supposed to. And then we also have a graph showing me if I have upcoming tasks, then those are alerting me just to know that what's coming down the pipe. So as I mentioned earlier, I have some changes to make on this project, and one of the first ones is I have a task manager, Donald Gray, who is no longer able to be on the project. He has to move off. So I'm going to go and change Donald Gray to Kevin Robinson. And the first thing I'll do is search for Donald Gray, find all of the tasks that he's assigned to as a task manager. And as you can see, he's got several here that he's assigned to. So what we're going to want to do is select all these and take the action and go to Mass Task Update. And what that's going to do is allow me to very quickly reassign all of these tasks to Kevin Robinson. So now we've moved seamlessly from the Endeca page to the EBS transaction processing system, and I'm just going to search for Robinson here. And once that pops up, I'll click on his name. And now that I've selected that, I can go and click on Review Changes, and what that's going to do is let me look at all the changes I'll be making. It's more important if you're making several changes, obviously, but in this case, I'll just show that, and then I'll say Apply. So we have another change that we need to make on our project. We have a resource, Carolyn Eastman, who we've decided to send to a conference, and that's now going to delay a few of the tasks that she's going to be on. So what I want to do with her is update all the start dates of the tasks that are going to be affected by her going off to the conference. One of the first things I'll do then is I'm going to go search for her by resource name, and I'll select her there. And then that's going to apply a filter to my task list to see just hers. And then I also want to update the task list just to see the not started tasks for her, so I don't have to look at her completed ones. So I'll add that filter as well. So now I can see the updated task list. It's the tasks that are in with the February start date. Those are the ones that are going to be impacted. So I want to make a change to all of those. So it's 2.2, 3.1, and 3.3. So I'm going to select each of those and then say Update Multiple Task. So now it takes me to the online transaction screen where I can make those changes to the scheduled dates for her all seamlessly in one screen without having to jump back and forth between other screens. So now I'm going to update her start date to the 1st of March. That's when she plans to start these tasks. And then I'm going to copy that and apply it to the other ones as well. So I'll move to the next task, make that change, and then move to the final task, make that update again. So you can see how quickly I was able to make these changes for several tasks at one time. And then once I'm happy with the changes that I've made, I'm just going to apply that, and it takes me back to the work plan overview screen. So the one additional thing I wanted to do on this project is, remember it was the end of the period, so we are capturing progress from resources. So Sarah Curry has sent in a resource report on some tasks where she's completed progress. First thing I'm going to do is go into my latest published version, which is where we will capture progress. And then I'm going to do a filter on the resource, Sarah Curry again, to see just her tasks. So I'm going to click that filter, and then as well I'm also going to just look at her not started. I don't want to see her completed tasks. So once I select those, my task list will be updated. Now I just see her not started tasks. So she gave me a report on task 2.2, 3.2, and 3.3. So those are the ones I want to update progress on. So I'm going to click those and then go to my action button and update progress. So now I'm in the page where I can quickly update the progress for her. One of the first things I'm going to do is set all of these tasks to in progress. So I can do that very easily. And then I can also enter some comments at the same time if I want to put those in here. I don't have any comments at this point, so now I'm just going to update the ETC based on what she told me. So the first one is ETC of 150, and the actual start date is correct there, February 1st. Moving on to the next one, the ETC is 80, and then we're going to put in a start date for her, February 1st. And then once we're finished that one, move on to the final task, and that one is a ETC of 220, and then it had a February 8th start date, so I'm going to be putting that in. So very easily, I captured all the progress for her on one screen. Didn't have to make a lot of clicks. Just the clicks to make the actual data changes was really all I had to do. Now I'm going to apply that, say yes to the warning, and then I move right back into the work plan overview page. As a quick recap, We've shown in this demo that Endeca for eBusiness Suite project management helps project managers avoid schedule delays and reduce project risk by drawing the attention to any projects or tasks that need additional attention to keep the project on track, and also to help improve the project manager productivity so that you can quickly identify and consistently update any schedules and impacted tasks across the project.